Story number three. Speaking of AI and algorithms, Microsoft is integrating AI into its Office 365. Who the hell cares? Everybody. Because Microsoft Office is all over the place in corporate America, in corporations. A lot of small businesses need it. But this is seriously, seriously big money. They're charging $30 per licensed seat to get $30 a month per licensed seat to use this AI copilot that will jump in all your Microsoft Word docs, all your Excel docs, all your Access databases, all your I guess it's the new Clippy now because it's going to be in all your Microsoft Office apps. And yeah, Clippy.
Ooh, hard, hard, hard bull, man. You even have to break that down for the new neophytes, man.
Yeah, there used to be this little tool called Clippy. You'd open up Microsoft Word and it was on by default. You couldn't opt in for an installation without Clippy. So you turned on Microsoft Word or something, and this little paper clip with eyes would show up and be like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Click here to," and you're like, "Look, man, if you don't get the hell off my screen." And yeah, look up Clippy videos. Dude was hilarious.
It's
Um,
terrible.
he wasn't hilarious at the time because we hated him, but yeah, it appears that he's back, kind of. Not him, but his brain is back. The idea.
He's back at the board. He's back at the board. At the board.
Yeah, so I mean, if only 10% of the users signed on to this program, and you're talking about major corporations like, Oracle, your Googles, your Facebooks, your Metas, your Nvidias, all these companies that run off Microsoft Office, if only 10% of them want to try this out, you're adding 14 billion in annual revenue if only 10% tried it out. So, it's huge, and it's actually kind of fascinating. I mean, the money and got me into the story, but it's actually kind of fascinating what they're doing, with the actual technology. Have you heard any of this, or you use Office at all? I don't even know.
I used to, corporate America, right? I worked
Oh,
at
yeah.
Cisco Systems for almost 20 years. And so I'm very familiar with Microsoft and Excel and all that and Word. So yeah, I get it, man. I think corporations are going to eat this up because, they already have license agreements with them. I mean, matter of fact, Cisco Systems, who I used to work for, a networking company, it had some of the software embedded in some of our virtual servers. So, it just came embedded with Microsoft Office, right? Because that's just what everybody use. I mean, I have a license on my computer here, so I'm so used to using Excel and stuff. I used to use PowerPoint a lot more. I've gotten away from PowerPoint. I've been kind of getting into, Google Sheets and then really Canva lately. I like Canva to kind of make my PowerPoints now a little bit easier. But yeah, I was there for decades, man. When the Microsoft uses, so definitely I could see this being huge for, Microsoft. But I will say this, OpenAI, the competitor, right? Well,
Mhm.
not really a competitor, but they're kind of like Microsoft Copilot. Is that built on OpenAI? Is that correct?
Is it built on it? I don't know. It's got its own thing. I'm
Okay,
not sure how it
interesting.
works
Because
underneath
you
the
know they
surface.
have that partnership together, right? They got
Yes,
that
I do know they
partnership
have the partnership, and that's where we
because
get a
Microsoft put money into
Bing
OpenAI.
GPT from.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I will say this because big business is spending 1 billion. They already got $1 billion in revenue. OpenAI. They're doing big projects with corporations over the last 12 months, kind of building out from obviously Microsoft, but everyone else out there is looking to build out these, enhanced AI, large language model type programs for these opportunities. So, yeah, man, I want to kind of dovetail a little bit. How are you using AI now? Now that the hype is
Well,
dying down, it's almost been a year.
yeah,
Do you
well,
want to talk about?
yeah, no, well, I'll definitely get into that, but really quickly, I just want you to this didn't seem to make sense to me in the beginning. It's like, why would you spit out $30 a month, just to add AI into Microsoft Office until I got to understanding how integrated it was. Like, there's 2 parts of it apparently. You have the automated part where it's just kind of really integrated into the system, and then you have, like, this AI assistant on the side that's working. So, in the background, what it's doing is creating a large language model of all your company's documents, all your documents, all the memos, all the whatevers. So let's say um, you've been building sales reports for the past 10 years. the ones from 10 years ago aren't going to be as advanced and fleshed out as the one from last year. So you could say, hey, can you update the financial report from 10 years ago to match the one from this year? And it'll go back in and say, hey, we tried to update it. We're missing this and this data. Could you provide us with this? We saw this spreadsheet over here and we're not sure if we should pull that information in. It's like, oh, wow. It's just got all these crazy ways. I'm on the Microsoft website right now. It's just got all these crazy ways to, as they say, reinvent productivity for everyone, where you can just ask it like,
Yeah.
hey, draft me a 2-page project proposal based on this document and this spreadsheet. Hey, make me a PowerPoint presentation based on this set of documents that we created last week, and make it so it's in five. It can be spoken out in 5 minutes. Create a 5-slide presentation, consolidate this presentation into a summary, send an email out through Outlook that does X, Y, and Z. It's like, and what's funny is they're really pushing this towards smaller businesses where it's like, hey, you don't have all this time to get secretaries, you don't have all this time for, assistants and all this. Just let Copilot run all that. And that got me thinking, oh, well, that's where $30 a month comes in at. That's pretty slick.
Yeah, I was thinking about it while you were talking. I was like, you know what? Big corporations not gonna go for this. I thought like a Cisco
Mm,
system because of what you just said. The large language model is taking all your data and kind of categorizing it at the same time learning, right? And so you don't have access to that algorithm. You don't know what it's learning about your corporation and what it's going to be used
mm,
for.
mm,
I'm assuming OpenAI got so much money from these corporations is because they probably have some kind of license agreement. Say, look, our data is our own. OpenAI, you're not going to have access to this. They should at least. This is going to be the new battleground. We talked about this before. The actor strike, everybody. Your data is your own, and so if you're going to have these AI systems, algorithms in your platform, in your corporation, you better be damn sure that stuff is not going to touch your crown jewels
well,
because it's going to learn and improve upon it. Now, small business, this makes perfect sense because yes, they care about AI, and see what the benefits of it, but at the end of the day, they don't care about their data. They're just trying to survive, make
right.
their 5 million a year. They'll be good. And so what Microsoft is doing is they go after, the small business market makes perfect sense. And then the algorithm will learn from those small businesses. And let's say there's all the, you know, print shops in America, right? So now they have a large language model to understand the needs of a print shop, and they can have this algorithm say, "Hey, if you're trying to start a print shop, just buy Microsoft Print Shop algorithm, and we'll do everything for you to be successful. We show you what the steps you need to be successful. Pay us, percentage of your revenue." And
Yeah.
that's a new business model. So that's when you said small business, that's when it clicked for me. The $30, like you said too, the price point. Because corporations, man, yeah, I don't think they're gonna go for that.
I mean, I wonder if it's going to be a matter of when the small guys start trying it out and they see the leaps and bounds that these small guys are doing, that maybe they might get with it or maybe not. But I mean, we're talking about an unprecedented level of business control
Yeah.
being given over to another system that may or may not be better than what you can do. I mean, it's like it's just I'm looking at this list of examples and I'm just kind of mind blown. And so,
Well,
uh,
let's talk about, we're small, relatively small guy. I mean, how are you using AI now? I mean, I'll just tell my story. It's good for writing emails. It's good for checking spelling and grammar.
yeah,
I haven't got to the point where it's, looking at spreadsheets for me yet, but yeah, that's pretty much all I use it for right now. I mean, and then internally we're doing some interesting things of how we communicate to our patients, leveraging AI to create the messaging.
hmm,
But, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, yeah. What about you?
I've been using it to help write, and it's been helping me write a lot faster. So I have a paper based process where I scribble some notes down, and then I go back and rewrite the notes, and then I put that into written form. I mean, digital form, and then I print it out and look at it. So what I do now is I write that initial rough draft just on a small little notepad like this. It's all just because if I run out of like 11 or so lines, then I'm gone too long. But anyway, I throw that down and then I set up with a series of prompts like, hey, I need this, 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 and here's my current set of bullet points and thoughts that I have. Based on that, how would you structure this? And it gives me some BS data. And then I'm like, okay, good start. I like what you did here. Didn't like what you did there. Now, how would you update? And I do this iteration like 6 or 7 times. And either it tells me something I want, or if it doesn't, then I go back to the drawing board and say, okay, something's not flowing here. I need to fix this. But if it finds some connections, then I'm like, okay. So it just really helps out in terms of basically throwing my idea out, seeing what other smart people might have said on the internet. Because, if you use, as I said, being GPT, it gives you little references like where it got that from. So it throws me articles. Basically, it helped for writing. I'm starting to use it more for art ideas. I'm figuring out how to integrate my art. Like I'll do some sketches and feed it to a program, and it'll give me variations on those sketches. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, a lot of stuff like that. In fact, I may actually have to start paying for like 2 or 3 services now because I've been getting by on the free stuff, and now I'm just like, okay, I need to crack my knuckles and get dirty with this.
Okay. No, like I said, same writing, for the most part, but yeah, and just some. I haven't used some more advanced things to kind of give me some different ideas yet, but we'll see.